The Money Boss Mom book has been percolating for years. So when I first moved back to Kansas and started working at Aspire Wealth Partners, I was writing for their blog and I had a 6-month-old baby, my first child, and now I have four. And so I was new to the mommy business, just trying to like learning all the things that you learn. Like you guys know, there's just so many changes, emotionally, physically, and financially to adapt to. So I was writing a lot of blog content really directed at moms and parents, just all the things I was learning and going through and how it's different from when you learn it in school versus you're going through it yourself. So I started writing a lot of articles toward parents. And then I kept joking that, gosh, I need to write a book about this because I have so much content here. And then in 2017, I actually started organizing it into chapters and like taking blogs that I had already written and putting them in different folders that I might make into chapters one day. And then I just got back into it. I kept adding to it, got back into it last year and started actually doing it. So it's really fun to have a book out there because as financial planners, we can't help everyone, but we want to. And so it's a great way to just, reach a wider audience. And I feel like with parenthood, I mean, the stakes are so high. There's just so many moving parts and so many things going on that we can help with. The question is, what is the most important piece of a puzzle? And a lot of people first say, duh, the corner pieces, how are you going to do a puzzle without the corner pieces? And then, other people kind of have other explanations like, oh, the last piece or the first piece or all the pieces, or you can't have a complete picture. And so the answer to the question though is the picture on the front of the box. And the reason that applies here is, that picture on the front of the box is what gives you the vision of what you're trying to create. So with, financial planning goals and any goal, really, you're not trying to just do something to do it. You're changing your habits and doing things to reach that goal. So for example, a lot of people say things like, oh, I need to save more, or I need to be a better saver. And it's like, well, for why? For what? How much? How, like, what do you, and so it's not a motivating enough goal to make them change their lifestyle or do anything differently. But if they then change that to a compelling vision of the future they'd like to have. So talking about money is hard for everyone, regardless if it's couple or any other relationship, because it's such a personal thing and the way you grew up impacts the way you think about money. Your behaviors are all tied up in the way you think about money. So there's just a lot of things going into it. In the conclusion of my book, I talk about just do one thing. Like when you think about financial stuff, there is a million things to do, right? You save more, you got retirement, you got college funding, you got insurance, you got estate planning, taxes, like the whole nine yards. And so I like for people to just kind of take it in bite-sized amounts. So, like if you read the book, there's a summary at the end of each one that's like, here's, kind of 3 things you could do. But I would say just kind of break it up and say, okay, so we're going to tackle the insurance piece. Then do that, have that be your focus for this month. And then next month, pick up another financial planning topic, like getting the will done or, starting to save into your 401k. Just do one thing and then you will be a whole lot better than you were before. And so, it's hard not to get paralysis by analysis when we're looking at so many things, but just pick one thing and check it off your list and then move to the next one.